But let's take the baby out. So this is the living room. And we have the dining room and the kitchen right there. A curtain behind me, that's it.
Do people think like you're in a studio?
Yeah. Some people think like, you have a nice studio. I'm like, no, this is just the living room, like literally.
2 cinematic slow motion moves you should try.
This is Justin. He's a full-time dad, former architect, and recently blew up on Instagram. Or as he puts it,
I make videos on the internet.
he already won awards from Sony and DJI, but this year he had a new goal.
I was gonna try and start making content creation into a viable means of income. I think it's time to try and make money off of it. We decided I would give short form content a try because it made the most sense in terms of the amount of time in my hand.
So he posted 30 videos in 30 days, growing his audience to over 300,000 followers. Now let's see what he needs to transform an ordinary living room into a content creation studio.
So I would put a key light here, just because I know I'm gonna be sitting there, grab my camera tripod, put it here, then set up this one. And then I need the thing, so Pro Mist, and then the adapter, which is this one. And then do it this way.
Right, so you actually shoot everything vertical.
Yeah. Then this one I set here for audio, something like that, and then just adjust it depending. And then I got the 3.5 extension cable.
Nice.
So I plugged the microphone directly to the camera so I don't need to deal with syncing. The setup, which is basically a curtain to the balcony, so I just close this up. Fairy lights from IKEA.
How did you come up with this curtain and light setup?
I've been really wanting to make a table setup in front, like with the camera. So I was really stressing about a table and then the whole backdrop, and I just really wanted to make my video look better, right? And then I realized if I do that, it's gonna look exactly the same as other videos, right? Like maybe I should just lean into what I have and we'll see. So, and then I realized maybe I could put some bokeh there. By doing that, use the 50 so that it's even more compression. So essentially it was just like me looking at what was already here and then, you know, just throwing it together. And it ended up looking unique. What else do we need? Turn this one on. Yeah, so I have the yellow just because this is yellow. Right, in my head, it's like motivated lighting. So that's essentially it. And then I put the chair here. Yeah, and put the mic as close as possible. With a 50, it's usually here. Like it's really just to the side, almost to the side of my face. And then I sometimes, lately I even put a light behind me because, let's do that. I put that behind me.
Oh, so this just lights up the background. It's not like one of those setups where it's like in the frame. Like you have to be perfectly in center.
Yeah, so I like, because with the monitor, right? Like you have a center marker. So I just make sure that this lines up to the center. And then I set the center and it's usually, it's gonna be covered. So it helps a lot with rotoscoping.
Yes.
That's why I do that.
If you want to know how to separate yourself from the background like this, then this video is going to be for you.
And you don't really see it, but it's like...
And in general, how is this like having this set up in the living room for, I don't know, family, work life, like...
No, so it actually makes a lot more sense for me to shoot here than in the office. Because what I do since I work at night, so we put Kara to sleep and she sleeps at the master bedroom, right? That's towards the end. Because I'm here and the walls are concrete and it's not a drywall, I don't really worry about if Kara hears me recording and stuff. So it really helps a lot, at least for me, when I'm recording, because I can be myself, like I can relax. Versus when I'm in the office and then it's night and they're sleeping, I'm super conscious if I'm like talking too loud, they might hear me, they might wake up or all that stuff. So that's why I ended up recording here.
So what time do you usually record then?
Like past midnight. With the teleprompter, recording takes super fast, like maybe 5 minutes.
And so usually when you have the setup, do you do like a couple in a row?
I think at least 2. sometimes I just do one, but because it was already set up, right? So it was okay. Like there would be days like I wouldn't have an idea.
Yeah.
What to do, right? So I was like, there was pressure. Like after dinner, I'd come up with something and then shoot at night, and then like just come up with everything. But there are times like there's 2 to 3, but a lot of the times it's just the one for that day. For the 30-day challenge, you want as less friction as possible, so you got to make sure you make it every day. So I set this up. I never left it. Like as much as possible, I never moved the chair so that I know that's already lined up and all that stuff. But after that, I honestly, like I really got bored, like seeing the same video over and over again, like seeing the same banger. So I tried changing it up. And then, yeah, so to me, like again, past that phase of just making sure I was making content every day, and now transitioning to, I gotta make sure I'm still having fun making content. So now it's just like really flexibility in terms of where I'm shooting, flexibility in terms of time of shooting, flexibility in terms of like a lot of the recent reels I made weren't even inside the house.
Here are 3 mobile cinematography tips you can try regardless of the phone you're using.
Now it's just about being constantly excited, and the thing is just doing the uncomfortable things. At least, like it's always like I find a new thing, I find a new challenge always. Like now I'm doing the all iPad workflow, right? I'm also learning DaVinci. The main thing that makes everything work is this hub. Like, so this hub essentially allows me to connect to a monitor, connect an SSD, connect it to a charger. It's just like SD cards, everything.
Let's check out this care package that our friends from Orbit and Angelbird Media sent over. We have an Orbit sticker. We've got this handwritten note from my friend Val who runs Orbit. We've got a Angelbird thermos. We got 2 V90 cards. And in order to read that, Angelbird also sent their SD dual card reader. Oh, we also have a Peak Design tech pouch. You've got kind of a satchel bag. We have an Angelbird Quick Bite. And we have an Angelbird pen. And yeah, so I just want to say thanks to Val and Orbit, and of course Angelbird Media for sending this care package. I am honestly very excited to start using these.
And the best way for you to get sent stuff like this is to just keep making things.
So what's this space?
This is the office. This is Kat's space. It's where she works every day. This is my space. So I have a desktop where I transfer the heavy editing stuff once my laptop can't handle it anymore. So I usually work off of a 2019 MacBook Pro, which is right here. So this has been the main machine. And then what I would do is do the first cuts here, do the color grading here, just because the color is better. And then once that's set up, transfer here, because this is where I do all of the After Effects stuff. I used to do it here as well, but then I realized, I have this lying around. No one's using it. It's a pretty powerful computer, and I'm like, might as well just use it. And then one of my favorite things probably is this chair. 2 chairs that we got. This is a Herman Miller chair, because being an architect, like one of my dreams is to own a Herman Miller chair. And these things are so friggin' expensive in the Philippines. It's like twice the price in the Philippines. And so when we got here, we were like, what the hell, we could buy 2 for the price of 1. And so it's still expensive, but we're like, it's like for the price of 1. So we invested in it just because we knew we would be working at home all the time. So this is where I edit. I use 2 headphones differently. This one is Bluetooth, so it's for the iPad, for the laptop. This one is like for this one. And then I have my wall of gear, which is where I like to display all this stuff that brands send over, some of the stuff I bought in the past, and just like I can't throw them away because I really like looking at them. And it's just so nice, and I feel like it makes for a nice background.
I have 5 pocket cameras here, and I want to know which of these is going to be best for an overhead shot.
So what is the oldest thing that you still have?
Oh, my first camera right here. It's this one. It's the Canon 100D. So this is the 100D. It's a DSLR, and the reason I got this is because I really wanted to have a Canon camera. That was like my dream. Canon camera, DSLR, and I got the 100D because the marketing of this at the time was it's the smallest, lightest DSLR ever. And to me, I didn't know how to take photos. Number one, I didn't know how to take photos. I was actually ashamed to hold a camera in public just because it feels like I'm an imposter. Like, it feels so weird to hold a camera outside in public and take photos. In the Philippines, especially, you're like not a foreigner, you're not a tourist, and you're bringing out a camera and you're taking photos. It just felt so weird and unnatural. Like, it's so crazy. It's so crazy for me to say that. But yeah, so I got this because in my head, it's small enough. So it looks like I don't really know what I'm doing. But also on the flip side, it's a DSLR, so I maybe know what I'm doing, right? And then I pair this with a 50mm. And it's like a toy, right? Like, no one would take me seriously with this.
It's a small setup.
It's a super small setup. My mindset was, if I didn't like, or if I found out that I didn't actually like photography and I didn't enjoy it, at least the investment wasn't so big. Like, I could quit it, right? Like, and then invest in a big camera. The lens was cheap, so I was like, oh, I wasn't really sure. That's how unsure I was. But now it's like, I'm looking at city cams and I'm like, I'm not even making movies and stuff. But yeah, so, but this is super special because we were flying to Japan. And Japan to me is like the ultimate country to visit. Like, it's, for me, that was like my top destination. And so I could not go without a camera.
But how does this compare to like your first setup? Was there even something like a first
Oh my
setup?
gosh. I think the biggest change is, of course, like the things on the table, because back then, like, I had a so-so computer, but now I essentially like have more than I need. Like, I know I don't use all of this all together in one go, right? Like, but there are days I'm like, oh, I can use a 360 cam for this, or I can use the GoPro for this, like, or like I want to go big today, so I'll rig the A7 III up. Like, there are days I want to go really big. Like, I don't mind carrying mini V-mount battery with a monitor, there are days like I love doing that, and then there are days that I'm just like, I want the bare thing. I'll use this ZV-E10 by itself without anything, just that, because I'm just too lazy to do anything. So it's that idea of like always just changing, and it's expensive, yes, but to me it's like part of the fun. Like, there are days I just want to make content with the 360 cam, for example. Like,
what's your go-to then?
It was probably A7 III. On a day-to-day basis, it's probably the one I would be most comfortable with. Like, I feel like I'm not sacrificing anything. I need photo, I need video, and I just need it to be exact. Like, I need to be sure that I get it. If I wanted to do something, it's probably the A7 III right now.
Best system upgrade from 6D, ideally for photos and videos.
And so you said earlier, the goal at the beginning of the year was to make content creation like the income, or at least a viable business, right? That's on some level. We're like halfway through the year now. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I mean, every day I wake up and I actually tell myself I get paid to make videos now. Like, I'm so thankful for that. Like, it's not as consistent as I would want it to be yet, but like, the idea of getting paid to make videos on the internet, to make short form videos and get paid for it, is like, to me, that's mind-blowing. And I'm really, really thankful for that. I'm not kidding when I say, like, I really feel like blessed when I say that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Is this still rolling?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my gosh, please stop it. If you enjoyed this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with a fellow creative to support their journey. We're all about highlighting and connecting creators in Europe and beyond. And if you want a chance to shine on one of the future episodes, check out the survey link down below. I'm always excited to meet new creators.